from the Next Issue podcast. Today, I'll be reviewing a comic that came out this week on the 26th. It's going to be Reptil Numero Uno. It's written by Terry Blas, pencil by Enio Balam, inks by Victor Olazaba, and colors by Carlos Lopez. This is lettered by Joe Sabino, uh, published by Marvel Comics. So, after the events of Outlawed, which pretty much kind of passed where teenage superheroes can't be superheroes without first registering, having a mentor. There's a lot of requirements now to be a superhero, a teenage superhero at least, if you have superpowers. Um, so after that, we follow our protagonist for this issue, Humberto Lopez, who moves to LA with his family because he has decided not to be a superhero anymore. So that's kind of where we start. One thing, I was really looking forward to this issue because it's always fun for me to find out about more Mexican American or Mexican heroes. So Humberto is Mexican American, which was really cool. Also, the full creative team is Land creators. So I also really appreciate Marvel going kind of out of the way to put a little bit more authenticity into the story. So once Humberto is in LA, he reconnects with his family, his cousins. He brings over his grandfather. Now, one thing that Blast and the team did really well was getting us caught up in who is Reptil, because he's been around for a little while now. So we have this really cool page, big splash, lots of panels that kind of walk you through the story of how he got his powers from the amulet, how he lost his parents, how he came to live with his grandfather. All this happens in one page, and it is tough to do that in a manner that feels coherent to new readers. I hadn't read this superhero before, so this was very good for me to just kind of go through the history. I mean, sometimes you can read comics with the Wikipedia open, but in this case, you didn't need to because you had right there. The team is well aware that in order to raise the status of the superhero, they must first introduce him to the world, or reintroduce him in this case. So yeah, not only that, we get two kinds of conflict here. Really, obviously, Umberto's going through a lot as he struggles with not being a superhero anymore, and that decision, his family's expectations of him being a superhero. But then also later on in the issue, we see that also there's a new threat, a mysterious thing, a mysterious being that wants to take the amulet from him. So one of the things I like to see in superhero comics is also kind of the downtimes. We see here Umberto and his cousins, they go get tacos. I like this, like just this festival that's happening in the town, this little market. That's very cool. Like stuff like that. Downtime with the superheroes in a world that feels kind of lived in is very interesting. But then that's kind of when stuff happens. And this is where the team of Balam and Olazaba really come up. They transform Humberto into, like, he has to use his powers. So we get some really cool times where he has to transform part of his being into a dinosaur. He can transform into pretty much any dinosaur. Partially, he tries not to do it fully because once he goes full dinosaur, he can lose control a little bit. But another really cool thing is what Lopez does with the colors. Like this color scheme and this color feel to the world makes it really feel like a superhero comic. And that's something that you kind of look for. And as we saw through all the pages that I've shown, the world feels like it's lived in, like it's a real authentic place. I've never been to LA, but I imagine there are neighborhoods like this. So yeah, it was very cool to kind of go through that. I like the premise that they've set up. It's interesting. It's like an identity crisis for for a superhero. So I definitely recommend you picking this up. It's a good first issue for any new reader. You don't need any prior knowledge really going into this because of the stuff I mentioned. Like, they really reintroduce you to the world. So I recommend this to pick this up. If I had to rate it, I would be like 4.5, 5 stars. Really, it's very good. It really checks all the boxes in the stuff that I look for in superhero comics. If not, also thumbs up. Go pick it up. It's a good number one to get. So yeah, that's gonna be it. And then once again, I'm really happy to see more Mexican American superheroes. That when the question comes up of, like, who's your favorite one, now there are more options out there. So anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Did you pick this up? Did you enjoy it? Have you picked up anything else this week? I picked up a bunch of Marvel, and I'll try to do a pull list show later in the week. So keep an eye out for that. Anyways, thanks everyone, and keep reading comics.